In the heart of Britannia, where the sun barely pierced the dense canopy of ancient oaks, lay the realm of the Iceni tribe. This land was steeped in legends, where every rustle of leaves and whisper of wind told tales of bravery and bloodshed. Among these stories was that of Boudica, a queen whose fury would ignite a rebellion against the might of Rome. Boudica was not just a ruler, she was a warrior, a mother, and a symbol of defiance. Her beauty was matched only by her fierce spirit. However, her life took a dark turn when her husband, Prasutagus, died. In his will, he left his kingdom jointly to his daughters and Emperor Nero, hoping to secure peace for his people. Instead, the Romans saw this as an opportunity to seize control. The Iceni were met with brutality. The Roman legions ravaged their lands, enslaved their people, and desecrated their sacred sites. Boudica herself was publicly flogged, and her daughters were taken from her, an act that ignited a firestorm within her heart. As she stood in the ashes of her once thriving kingdom, she vowed vengeance against those who had wronged her. Word spread like wildfire across the hills and valleys of Britannia. Boudica called upon all tribes to rise against their oppressors. The Trinovantes tribe answered her call, joining forces with the Iceni in a desperate bid for freedom. As warriors gathered under her banner, Boudica became an emblem of hope and vengeance. The night before their first attack on Camulodunum, modern-day Colchester, Boudica stood before her assembled warriors. The flickering flames illuminated her fierce features as she raised her sword high above her head. We fight not just for our freedom, but for our families and our honor. Let them feel our wrath. The roar of approval from her army echoed through the trees, resonating with ancient spirits that seemed to awaken from their slumber. As dawn broke, they descended upon Camulodunum with relentless fury. The Romans were caught off guard. Their defenses crumbled under the weight of Boudica's wrath. Buildings burned as screams filled the air. Roman soldiers fell like autumn leaves in a tempest. In those moments, Boudica tasted victory for the first time. But this was only the beginning. With each settlement they conquered, Londinium, or what we know today as London, and Verulamium, which is now St. Albans, the legend of Boudica grew. Her name became synonymous with fear among Roman soldiers. They spoke in hushed tones about the vengeful queen who commanded an army of fierce warriors. However, as victories piled up, so did overconfidence among Boudica's ranks. Rumors began to circulate that they were invincible, that no Roman could stand against them. But beneath this bravado lay a growing sense of dread, a feeling that fate had not yet revealed its true hand. The final confrontation took place at Watling Street, a narrow pass where Boudica's forces faced Governor Suetonius Paulinus's troops. Despite being outnumbered, Suetonius had fortified his position with strategic brilliance. His men stood shoulder to shoulder in disciplined ranks, armed with shields and glistening swords. Boudica rallied her warriors one last time. Today, we fight for our freedom, for our families, for every drop of blood they have spilled. Her voice rang out like thunder as she charged into battle. The clash was horrific. A cacophony of clanging metal and anguished cries filled the air as both sides collided with ferocity. Boudica fought valiantly at the front lines. Her sword danced through the chaos, like a vengeful spirit seeking retribution. But as day turned to dusk, it became clear that fate had turned against them. The Roman formations held strong. They countered every charge with disciplined precision. The tide began to shift. Panic spread through Boudica's ranks like wildfire. In a moment that would haunt history forever, Boudica found herself face to face with Suetonius himself amidst the chaos. Their eyes locked. A silent acknowledgement passed between them. Two leaders bound by duty but separated by destiny. As arrows rained down and chaos enveloped them, Boudica realized that victory was slipping away. Her heart pounded in her chest as she fought on, but one by one her warriors fell around her until she stood alone amidst a sea of bloodshed. The aftermath was devastating. Bodies littered the battlefield like fallen leaves after a storm. Those who survived fled into the woods, haunted by what they had witnessed. Friends lost and dreams shattered. Boudica's fate became shrouded in mystery after that day. Some say she escaped into the depths of the forest where she lived out her days in sorrow and solitude, while others believe she took poison rather than face capture by Roman forces. In towns across Britannia, whispers spread about the fierce queen who had dared to challenge Rome, a ghostly figure who roamed the woods seeking vengeance for her fallen warriors and family. The Romans retaliated brutally against those who had supported Boudica's rebellion. Villages were razed to the ground as they sought to instill fear among any who dared to defy them again. Boudica's legacy endured long after her death, a symbol of resistance against tyranny and oppression. Her story inspired countless generations to rise up against injustice and fight for their freedom. In time, she became more than just a queen. She transformed into a mythic figure woven into the fabric of British history, a warrior spirit that would never be forgotten. The woods where she fought remained haunted by echoes of battle cries and whispers of vengeance, reminders that even in defeat, true power lies in standing up against oppression. What do you think happened to Boudica after that fateful battle? Share your theories or any eerie tales you've heard about rebellion in history in the comments below. And don't forget to check out our next video on legendary figures who defied empires. Make the background music eerie creepy.